everybody. How's it going? Ben Gothard here, founder and CEO of Gothard Enterprises, author of CEO at 20, a little book for big dreams. So today I'm going to continue with my series on how to write a book, and I'm going to keep going with part 2, which is on target market, and today is going to be chapter 7, how do I identify my target market. Now the last 2 have been on what is a target market and why they're so important. But today I want to get down to the nitty-gritty, some actual in-depth skills on how to identify a target market. So let's jump right in. The first is research. Okay, you're gonna have to do some research to find your target market. Okay, now the first way that I would suggest doing research, where I would start, is by building what's called a customer persona. Okay, now I want you to think about what a customer persona is. Okay, if you were to craft your perfect customer, right, you could choose who they are, what they do, why they do what they do, all these different things. Who would that person be, and what would they look like, right? Is it a gentleman between the age of 18 and 20 who wants to go to college but can't afford it? Is it somebody who's age 65 who just became a new grandparent? Whatever that person is, whoever your ideal customer is, you need to be talking specifically to them, okay? And so you need to have in your mind who this customer persona is, who this ideal target market, this ideal customer is. Now, how do you do that? Well, I want to suggest 2 different ways to understand your target market. The first is demographics. Okay, now what are demographics? Well, demographics are age, location, gender, income level, education level, marital status, occupation. Okay, so these are the quantitative statistical data that is relating to the population and particular groups within it. Okay, so if you're looking at just data on your customer, on your ideal market, your target market, right? If you're looking for all of these statistics on this person, then you can have a better idea of who you're talking to, right? And so that's demographics. Okay, these are the data, the statistical pieces of information that describe your target market, your ideal customer, your customer persona. Okay, so then in addition to demographics, there's psychographics. Okay, now psychographics are things like personality, attitudes, values, interests, hobbies, lifestyles, and behavior. So whereas demographics are more quantitative, more informational, like think numbers, right, statistics, psychographics are really more in-depth on who that person is. What do they like to do? What do they enjoy, right? Who are you actually selling to, right? Is it somebody that enjoys taking a walk on a Sunday evening and being in nature, or is it somebody who would prefer to spend their time inside playing video games, right? This is what psychographics are going to help you to understand. So by understanding your target market at a demographic and psychographic level, then you can figure out who they are. So you can identify that individual that is the most similar to the most number of these points of analysis, right? The demographics and the psychographics. Okay, so that all comes down to research, right? If you're going to sell to business owners, then go on Google and type in the age range of the types of business owners that you want to sell to, right? If you're writing a book towards people who have dogs, okay, then look up specific dog breeds and look up the statistics on those specific types of dog breeds, right? So research is very important when it comes down to your target market, okay? And again, we're looking for demographic and psychographic understandings, right? We're looking for a cross between those 2 points, and that is the research component. Okay, so there's research, right? The second one is experimentation, because you can research all you want, that's theory, right? You need to experiment, you need to figure it out. Okay, so how I would suggest experimenting, and this is where you can get creative, and this is where there is not one way of doing it, but this is how I would recommend doing it. Okay, I would go on social media, because there's tons of people on social media, and I would post niche specific content that is related to the topic of your book. Okay, now what do I mean by that? Well, let's say that you are trying to sell a book on the benefits of using deodorant. Just a random example, right? So you would probably want to go into athletic niches, right? So you'd maybe go to people who lift weights a lot in a gym community, and you would post specific information about the effects of using deodorant on sweating or on an athlete's ability to perform, right? You're posting niche specific content, and by niche I mean you're a group of people a very specific group of people, again, that are the intersection of your correct demographic and psychographic, right? It's content and information that these people would find valuable, okay, relating to the topic of your book. So the more you post, the more you're going to have a better understanding, okay, because you may post something about the effects of deodorant on athletic performance, and that may be an incredible resource for people, and they might love it, right? And so they're commenting on it, they're sharing it, they're saying, oh, I would love to learn more about this. Great. Write your book on that, or write a piece of your book on that, or go do more research and find out more statistics about that, and keep giving these people that content, because that's what they want, right? That's what they're asking of you, right? So when you are posting on social media, right, how do you figure out who those people are that you're actually talking to, okay? So I just want to go through platform by platform and just give a little bit of an explanation. To go too in depth on each one would take way too long, so I'm just going to give a little overview, right? But on Twitter, you're going to want to use hashtags, okay? So let's continue going with the deodorant example, even though it's kind of ridiculous. You would want to do hashtag sports, or hashtag basketball, or hashtag gym, hashtag weightlifting, right? So the content that you're posting is going to those people that you're trying to reach, okay? And so you're testing it out. You're identifying if these people, if this target market is ready to consume the content that you're posting, right? So what if you're doing something on nature, right? And you want to do something on the effects of hikers on the natural habitat, okay? On Twitter, use the hashtag nature, use the hashtag hiking, use the hashtag backpacking, right? And so you're sending your content to the specific group of people that you think may be your target market, and you're experimenting, you're testing to see if they want that content that you're giving, if they want the information that you have to say. Because if the people want that, then keep giving it to them, right? If you find a hungry group of people that want a specific sort of content or specific pieces of information, give them that information. They're telling you they want it, give that to them, okay? That is how you build trust with your market, with your community, okay? So that's Twitter. Instagram, very similar, use hashtags, okay? You can go on Instagram and you can start typing in a hashtag, and it'll tell you how many posts are in that one. So I would do some of my hashtags. I would do the bigger hashtags with millions of posts, and then I would stagger it a little bit. So I would have some hashtags for larger groups of posts, and then some hashtags for like maybe in the thousands, and then maybe a very few amount in the so some in the millions, some in the hundreds of thousands, some in the thousands. That way you're building some authority in these smaller hashtags, and then over time you're increasing your authority, and then hopefully you'll have this web of authority in enough small hashtags to where you can get onto the bigger hashtags and make a big splash. Okay, so that's Instagram. YouTube, you got to use your video tags in your title. The title of YouTube is very, very important in determining where you get ranked and for what keywords. So let's say, again, you're doing something about nature, okay? Well, you want to go and you want to put keywords that are relating to nature there, and you want to keep giving that information, and again and again and again you're experimenting. Try different tags, try different titles, and just play around with it and see what the market wants, okay? So then, finally, the last one we're going to talk about is Facebook, okay? I would very, very, very highly recommend 2 potential strategies for Facebook. One, the free way, more time consuming, is to go on Facebook groups. Join groups that are similar to the target market that you want to sell to, okay? Let's say you want to sell to, let's stay with the nature. Let's say you want to sell to nature lovers, people like me who love going out and hiking and being in nature, okay? Join groups about nature. Join groups about hiking. Join groups about mountains, about camping, about all that fun stuff. And then give them information on those topics, right? You're trying to experiment. You're trying to post content that is valuable to them. If you continue to give them value and they respond to it, then they are proving the concept of what you are doing. They are proving that the market that you're trying to hit is there, right? And your content is making an impact on that market. Your content is correct for that market, okay? So that is the free way to do it on Facebook. You can also run Facebook ads, right? And so you can come up with the basic ad and doing some interest-based targeting, okay? You can type in the interest of hiking, or you can go find a hiking magazine, okay? And those people are already paying money to consume information on the market that you're trying to talk about, on the topic, the subject, the industry that you're trying to talk about. So you could run a Facebook ad, and you could run it to, let's say, a product page that you can go set up. You can set up a very easy landing page on there are tons of resources that you can just type in, like free landing pages, and they're there. The name actually escapes me of the landing page that I was thinking about, but you can come up with landing pages that are very easy, and then instead of selling the book, at the very end it'll just say, I'm sorry, we're out of stock, or this product is no longer available, right? And so by doing that, you're testing it out to see, because people vote with their wallet. You want people to say, I'm actually interested in this, I'm going to buy this. And that should be the type of content that you want to keep selling, the type of content that people are going to buy, okay? So as you're posting all this content on all these different platforms using those various strategies, you're going to want to measure your results over a given period of time, right? If you're posting content consistently about hiking, and all of this content is falling on deaf ears, meaning nobody cares about it, then switch it up, right? You know something's not working. But it takes time to experiment and really truly put out the amount of content that you need to test the market in order to have a good amount of information in order to be able to make better decisions. So a long period of time, adjust accordingly based on those results, and mix up your content. You know, people don't always want the same type of content over and over and over again. You gotta mix it up a little bit. You gotta be a person. You gotta be human. So don't just go single focus and post 100 million articles on hiking. You know, do your normal thing. Occasionally toss some content in this specific direction that you're trying to test, and test your market out through experimentation. Now, we've talked about researching, we've talked about experimenting, but the most important and the most effective way to identify your target market is by far asking them. It is asking the people that you want to sell to. It is getting on the phone or meeting in person or having a chat on Facebook or whatever with the people that you think could be your target market. Okay, so if you're selling a book, then you can say to them, hey, Mr. Smith, if I were to write a book on topic X, what would I need to put in that book in order for you to want to buy it? And then you're getting the information that you need in order to make a product that people want, right? So if you ask a bunch of people, a target market, and you talk to them, now this is a lot of work to go talk to people individually, right? You're going to have some social skills, you're going to have to be bold, you're going to have to be told no, that they don't want to talk about it. But you go talk to them, you say, hey, if I were to put out this product on topic X, what do I need to put in there in order for you to buy? What do I need to include in this product, in this book of mine, in order for you to want it? Okay? And so when you're going to talk to them, they're telling you what to put in your book, right? So don't spend all this time researching and getting your mind right and doing all this research and spending all this time writing your book and devoting all this time and energy to it if you haven't done the proper research to know that people are going to want it, right? And there's kind of a caveat to that, because it's like, oh, well, I want to write something that I'm really passionate about. Okay, that's great, and I highly encourage that. At the same time, you want people to read your stuff. If you're going to invest your time and energy into doing something, it's way more rewarding, and you can help a lot more people if that thing is something that people care about and people need and people want, right? So go talk to them before you spend the time to do it, and help use the people's opinion to craft your message specifically for them, okay? So that's all I got for you today. Remember, how do you identify your target market? You research, figure out the demographic and psychographic, which is the quantitative and more of the qualitative, like who they are, information about them. You want to experiment, so post content that is relating to them. Go use social media, go talk to people, measure results, adjust over time. And then finally, the most important one is to ask them. Talk to the people that you want to sell to. Go talk to the people who are your potential customers. They'll tell you what they want. People will tell you what they want. Okay? So, have a good day. Let's build a better world together.